my VIPs. Once again, you are welcome to our VIP lifestyle where everybody is.
Somebody.
Oh yes, you are welcome. My name is Queen Rami, and this is my wonderful, handsome, Mr. LVM.
Oh, thank you, my darling. Thank you for allowing me to feature on this channel.
Guys, we are fighting about him doing the Paragon things. You can't do them, my love. This is a podcast. It's not a normal video. And once again, guys, welcome to episode 2 of our podcast. We're still working things in the background, but we are not going to wait for perfect couches, perfect microphones, perfect. Use what you have. Amen. You can quote me on that one. Work with what you have. Welcome, my love.
Welcome on Queen Rami Talks, where the rubber hits the road and the smoke comes out. Conversations. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Guys, as we are back with episode 2 of our conversations, we will be talking the expectations that our in-laws have of us and beating boundaries, basically, especially when it comes to finances. So on this one, we are going to be a little bit vulnerable, which is something that I don't like, because one thing about the internet these days, they will use your things against you, you know. But I think it's very, very important that we talk about such conversations, especially in the Black community, what we are going through with our families and their expectations. But one thing, as we are starting with this conversation, my love, I feel like our families are expecting a lot from us. Not only us, but each and everyone out there. I'm saying this because I recently watched, and I encourage you guys to go and watch Nozibele Tamgani. It's obvious that I love the Mayavas. I love Usku no Nozi. They're a great couple.
Yeah.
So she recently posted a vlog, but at the end of the vlog, she was talking about how her family is just expecting so much from her financially, and she is not coping. You know, so let's confess, why do you think our families are expecting so much from us?
I think it's an issue of, as you are saying, unrealistic expectations, or people tend to look that you can afford, and not bearing in mind that sometimes you are not in a position as a couple to, you know, have a lending hand or to help where you can. It's just a spiral, it's a down spiral that you can afford every time when we ask, bring something, you know. And whereas times are not the same, or seasons, you know, and the level of responsibilities, you know,
that as a couple we might have.
Even sometimes if you have, you decide otherwise, that for now I think this money is catered for something that is coming
to pay debts, to pay bills.
Yes, you are saving at the same time. There's a project that you are embarking on, you know, such things. So yeah.
I love that, and it is also imperative.
Yes.
English loved me today. I think it is also important for our families to understand that as a content creator, we might look like we've got things together, you know, it might look like perfect. Like you see the quality of our video, people might think, whoa. I remember we once gave this other guys a lift from Carnival to town, and they were like, and we asked them to subscribe to our YouTube channel. They were like, which camera are you using? The quality is so good. You remember, my love? And we were like, no, actually we are using our phones to record. Even though we do have a camera, we prefer a phone. And I think also that is the view that our families have of us. You know, they see us on our WhatsApp status with all this glittering makeup and new clothes that they are not aware of. You know, maybe they like, I don't know this yellow dress that she's wearing. And to them, it seems like life is so perfect, which is not the case. What can you say about that?
No, true that. But at the same time, as a couple, we need to strike an issue of boundaries, because, or not only boundaries, but at the same time, because I think that thing makes a couple to split, you know, because while I'm doing, I help some people without you knowing, you know what I'm saying, and that is detrimental to our relationship.
It is.
So it's very important. What I'm doing, I must do everything that I do
On the left?
I must do on the right. At the same time, I don't have to have skeletons, because if I have skeletons, somehow they will come out of the closet.
That's
and
true.
they will come to bite me.
They will definitely come to bite. And I love that conversation of the part where it does destroy a lot of couples. If our families come to us and want to treat us as two different people.
Yeah.
It does not work like that. I mean, we see a lot of marriages being broken because of the in-laws, you know, where somebody, now I actually want to come to the point where the Bible says the two shall become one, meaning my money is my husband's money, his money is my money. So it comes to that point of, if your auntie from somewhere comes behind my back and asks you for money, it is also your duty as my partner to
refer them to.
Not even refer. Next thing we're saying no, and then they hate me. Not to
Stand
refer.
with one of
I think yes. Also, as a partner, it is very important to be accountable and responsible and transparent. To say, you know what, my love, this is what Auntie Sbanbani came and said, and this is what they need. You know, it's very, very important as a couple we get to that level. But then what do we do now when the family begins to now hate you or be angry either with your wife or with you for the mere fact that we cannot provide them with finances? This one hits home.
I think on that one, it is very unfair for the people who are demanding help or who need help, but not understanding that at this particular time or on this game or at this juncture, we cannot afford to help. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, we need to be firm, because, you know, as I'm saying, that seasons are not the same.
Correct.
And yeah, sometimes we are not in a position and we can't feel guilty because at this particular time we cannot be able to help, you know. Yeah, so it's very important, especially when it comes to finances, because finances are a very critical part, crucial part, you know.
It can either make or break a marriage, you know. And I think also as people, we are made to believe that marriages can only end because of cheating or abuse and those type of things. Finances play a major role, you know, in the well-being of any relationship. So I feel like sometimes also our families just do not want to understand where we are coming from. You know, there will be a time where we have to say no to them. I remember Nozibele saying that when she says no to her mom, it's like she's talking to a rock. You know, her mother does not understand. And I mean, we can be confident and honest that there are some family members of ours that asked us for money, and today they are not speaking to us because we could not give them that money at that specific time.
Yeah.
But okay, my love. I also love the fact that it's at that particular time. But what if at all we cannot afford to give them that money? Does it make us bad people?
No, we are not bad people per se. Um, Hence, I'm saying that it happens, you know. And sometimes, as I was saying, that we are embarking on a certain project, and we need to keep the focus. Everything that we have, we need to channel it somewhere.
Sorry, man. So when you are saying that you are in, let's say somebody, one of your family members comes and asks for 5,000, and then you are like, "Ish, at this moment I do not have." And then next week you have a couple's gala dinner or an event somewhere at your church. Are you not supposed to go to that event and prepare for it, buy outfits or whatever the case, because of what they ask from you?
Remember, first things first. Let's major on the major, and the minor will take care of itself, because already we had a project or something that we are embarking on. You know, so we can't feel guilty, or you send us on a guilty trip because now we didn't contribute. You know,
I like that. And I don't think it's only on finances. I think it's on just anything that pertains to a couple. Guys, you know what they say, and can I please say it in my language? I'll translate. Ditaba tsa batho ba babedi a di tsene unless we involve you. Meaning things that have to do with two people, especially those that have seen each other naked, do not meddle in their issues. That is where we get the issue of people saying that after I tried to resolve their issues, they got back together, and then they said, "Any wish formed against us shall not prosper." You are now the third wheel, and you are hanging on a fence because those two people that were fighting are now reconciling, you know, unless they involve you. And I'm not saying people must not involve their families when things begin to happen, you know. When the rubber, what, madam?
hits the road and the smoke is coming out.
Yeah, you know, we are not by any chance saying people should not involve families or whatever the case, but be careful. You know, sometimes my pastor always likes to say, I prefer to resolve things with my wife before we can, you understand? And I think that is the level that any couple should find themselves in, unless it's major issues that can lead to a divorce or a separation.
Yeah. No, really, it takes two to tango. So I think this thing of hiding and then while I'm helping someone, it's gonna catch up. You know, so it's very important that we are one. We stand with one accord, with one voice. When we do things, we are together in this thing.
So when it comes to also the issues of boundaries, when it comes to finances, apart from if in case you don't engage with your partner, I think also making our families understand where we are. Do you think that is the way to go? And I mean where we are, I mean our level, what we can afford, what we cannot. Because sometimes it's not even them expecting a lot. Maybe it's on our side where we cannot do much, but we are afraid to even tell them that at this particular moment, we are still building, we are still trying to have our own things. Do you think it's important as a couple that we sit our families down, or as an individual?
And it's either or, because sometimes you can explain to people where you are and what, but if they've on their mind they've made it up that I'm gonna
that
get
one is
what
well off.
So they must, you know, that sense of entitlement.
The entitled, that's the word I've been looking for since we started this conversation. Why do our families feel entitled to us being there for them? And it will draw me back to this one word that I don't like, black tax. You know, guys, when it comes to such things, black tax, I think, is for people who are well off. People who God has blessed them and their things are going well. But I feel like for a family to expect people who are still in the building stage to be doing things for them, I think it's reaching. Because I don't think there's anybody who can sit and relax and enjoy champagne or whatever the case may be while their family is struggling. I don't think it's logic. Somewhere, somehow, we do want to help our family members. We do want to be there for our siblings. I mean, we want to take our siblings out for shopping. You know, that's the beauty of having a family. But you may find that it's not yet a season for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can help to an extent. You know. Yeah.
Because I mean, I will say this, and I say this with all humility, that I feel like we are only important or doing well with our families when we are able to contribute financially. And this is a very sad conversation that we can have. It's hardly the case where any of our family members can just call you, how are you? Are you well? Is marriage going well? Usually it's when they are like, did you manage to send? Are you winning with sending? And that is where we need to create serious boundaries, and then you are deemed as a bad person.
Yeah, it's a very tough situation, but boundaries must be made, because otherwise you'll be like borders without any security. People will just come in, you know.
But I believe also it's unfair, my love. Let's dwell more on this as we come to the end of our conversation, that why is it like we are only important to our family members when we are able to contribute financially? Does it mean that if we can't contribute financially to them, we don't exist?
Unfortunately, that's the what prevails in the society. Most, you know, we can't paint everyone with the same brush.
Correct.
But most of the time, that is, you know, people have a sense of that you are obliged. You know, because yes, you are from here, so you need to, you know, because you afford this and that and that and that. So as a result, yeah, you must help me in any other way. So those kind of mindsets, yeah, they shape the behavior, you know, and as a result, that brings strains in families.
Correct.
You know.
Correct. We would like to hear your views, your comments down below on building boundaries. It might not be marriage, it might even be a relationship, or even friendships, you know, or even sibling relationship. How have you created boundaries, and did they not affect how you relate with those people? Because I know for a fact that the minute you tell a person, this is where you draw the line, you know, when it comes to my family. Because one of the things that we have to deal with, especially when we get married or get into serious relationships, is that some of our family members cannot adjust to the change, you know, to the change that comes with that person being in a different sphere in their lives, you know.
Yeah.
So comment down below, tell us what you think specifically about this word that I don't like, black tax. How has it affected you? You know, there are people who are feeling drained because at a certain month their business did not do well, they can't afford to help their families, but when they try to tell them those things, they cannot take it. You know, it seems like, no, if you can't help us, why are you always looking good with makeup and new clothes? Little do they know that Queen Rami is a store and a brand ambassador. The clothes that she wears are sponsored, you know. Anyway, we have come to the end of our conversation. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have learned. I hope you are unlearning also some of the traits that you might have. I believe with all my heart that if you are able to contribute when it comes to helping your family members, your friends, your siblings, whichever way that you can, please go ahead and help. You know, I don't think we are trying to draw the message of don't help. No, if you are able to, please go ahead, help to the best of your ability, but also set up boundaries. Because if you are able to help your family members, please do help. Please be a blessing to them financially and in every sphere.
Yes, and sometimes it may not be only finance.
Even emotional well-being, be there for them. Okay, if you have watched us until this far, I know some did. out of love, some out of curiosity, you are still part of God's plan. Until we meet you again, thanks for watching. Bye.